Well, thank you for attending this presentation. We're here to take a look at the Orem Foundation. I don't work for this company. I'm not paid to present the information. Uh, what you're going to hear is just my own thoughts, my own opinions, and I'm happy to share the little bit of due diligence that I've done on this. And of course, it's always advisable to do your own. It's always prudent, to speak
February.
maybe speak to a professional. No matter what business you're starting, go to speak to somebody in that industry, somebody that understands it to give you a better understanding of what you're getting involved with. With that said, I'm not an accountant. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm not going to give you any financial advice. What we're going to hear today is just a little bit of education to educate you a little bit about this company. We're going to turn the company inside out, upside down. We're going to take a look at how it's structured, who's behind it, who's involved, and those type of things. That's what's important. And then we're going to move into some of the product lines and take a look at those to see is there anything of interest to me, to you, to people we know. We'll take a look at that. And then for those of you that want to hang out at the end of the call, we'll take a look at their affiliate program, which is very, very interesting. Now, the legal structure, so far, it's growing and growing. There are three divisions. I can see the European division is held out of Poland, where they have their neobank. They also have in the Emirates their investment LLC, the Eco Orem, and then the foundation on it. It's what you call not the parent company, but what do you call that? I think it might be like a holding company at the top, and it's based out of Hong Kong. I don't know why. They don't have offices there. We've sent somebody there, so there are no offices there. It was probably registered out of a solicitor's office or a lawyer's office or maybe out of accountancy office. But they have that kind of holding company at the top, and obviously that's to suit their taxation, their legalities. But that's the three divisions that we're aware of. We've seen their licenses, and we'll have a look at those in a moment. But when we look at who's behind it and the corporate structure, it's quite interesting. And I'm not going to cover everybody that's involved in the company because there's quite a few people. But these are some of the key people. Leonardo's from South America, worked at government level on blockchain, and he also worked with Binance and Brian Benson. Brian Benson said that this man is the only man in the world he'd have developing the exchange. We have two exchanges. One is centralized, one is decentralized. The decentralized one is not available for public use at this point, but the centralized one is. It will require KYC for withdrawals over $2,000. Withdrawals under $2,000 will not require KYC on the exchange. It's in public beta testing mode. That means it's up and operating since November 2025. It works and functions perfectly. They just haven't finished all the glorious, branding. And the interesting thing about that exchange is they're going to offer 50% of the commissions generated back to the community. Imagine Binance giving 50% back of what they earn, or Coinbase, or any of these big crypto platforms. Brian Benson is going to use that as a catalyst to kickstart a lot of new customers to come in just to the exchange product on itself. Al, he's the director of strategies. Nicholas, he's from Australia, I believe. He's head of partnerships. We've got Brent and Tobias. These guys they speak for Orem at different events. I think they might be speaking at Paris this week. We're at the Blockchain Summit at Paris. I think they were also in the Hong Kong event last month. Usually it's Brian Benson, but Brian is in hospital just at the minute. He's a little operation he's going through. But these guys are head of VC. I think they're hedge fund managers themselves. They're invested in Orem themselves. I think they put hedge funds in, but that's a different department to what something like you and me might be looking at, because this was not set up for retail. This was set up for the banks. This was originally set up for VCs. And you can read about that on Forbes, when I think it was $12 million VC money set this up at the beginning. Now, we have seen evidence of their first trading account from the 11th of January 2023, 3 years ago. And that's quite interesting. And it was a year and a half later that they decided to open an affiliate program. We've also got Bukari. He's actually the ex-deputy finance minister from Sierra Leone. He's a class act, getting together with Nick Patel. Now, Nick owns two companies. He's the founder of Clink Gold, CLINQ, and also the CEO of Bank of Bullion. And you know what we're talking about when we talk about gold and bullion. They're dealing with the RWA. RWA means real world assets. And the first one's already launched. Many people are enjoying 24 karat gold, but the next one launches on Saturday. They're launching real estate on Saturday at the event. And then after that will come data centers. data centers. So they're going to invest in data centers where we can generate income from real world assets. Very interesting ecosystem behind this company, but the main man is Brian Benson. Brian is from the United States. We've had a look at his passport. We know his date of birth. We know his middle name. We know where he grew up. We knew where his family moved to Peru when he was young. They were missionaries. They went down there. Brian was sent up to California to do his education. He went to Santa Barbara University. He left university and went straight into the banking world. He worked for Morgan Stanley, a very reputable bank. He became a trader at Morgan Stanley. He left Morgan Stanley. He was the ambassador for Algorand, the big exchange or the big crypto blockchain. What else did he do? Yes, he worked for Binance. He was hired by Binance. And in fact, what a job did he do over there? I'll tell you, this guy was the managing director of all LATAM. What is LATAM? LATAM is short for Latin America. It includes everywhere from the United States border all the way to the tip of South America. So it includes Mexico, which you would call Central America, Central America, and then further on down, Peru, Colombia, Chile, Argentina, Brazil. These are big, big, massive markets. And Brian Benson's division brought 20% of Binance's revenue to Binance. Now, Binance did $1 billion in 6 months, faster than Microsoft, faster than Apple, faster than Tesla. And this man was part of that, what they call this unicorn company. It came from nowhere and it's still out there today making big, big, big waves. When we Googled this man, we found him everywhere. Great, great news, guys. There's images here when he was much younger. What does that tell you? History. That's important as well. This is the real Brian Benson. He's been reported more than once on Forbes. You can read about that. He was invited at one stage to their finance council. Again, obviously, Forbes respect this man's knowledge. He's really a key network and what do you call this? Blockchain Web3 expert. Then the next thing that's interesting is the card, the Aurum card. And this is provided both by MasterCard and Visa. The one on the screen is Visa, but I was surprised to see they also have a MasterCard involved as well. Now you would imagine the issuing bank has done their homework on this company. You would expect the bank to find out, well, obviously they know who Brian Benson is, but they would probably have to check their licenses, their accounts before they would even allow them to co-brand, putting the same name. Now look at the size of the logo and look at the size of Visa. I don't believe you're allowed to have your logo bigger than Visa's, but it's pretty big logo, and that's very, very hard for any company to do. What's interesting about this is they don't ask for your name. They don't ask for your passport. They don't ask for your driver's license. They don't ask for a bank statement. They don't ask for utility room. They give you a card. You can start with a virtual card, and then you can get one of these later. They give these out at the events, or if you're in the vicinity of their offices, you can pick them up. If you know someone to get, these are quite hard to get. The plastic ones are hard to get, but the virtual card works instantly on your cell phone right now. It works on Apple Pay, Google Pay, and you can import your cryptocurrency from anywhere. So let's say you had crypto on Binance or Coinbase or Kraken or OKX or KuCoin or MetaMask or Trust Token Pocket or Trust Wallet or Exodus. Let's say you have a little bit of USDT over there. You can import it to your Aurum account. You don't have to trade it or do anything. Press top up, put your crypto onto the card, and off you go spending cryptocurrency. This is a solution. It's called off-ramping. It's already in place. We're not talking about mañana. This has been in effect from June 2025. An incredible product. And what's in it for you? If you're the person that has this issued to a client, guess what? Every time your customer spends money, you make money. You get paid on people shopping. So when somebody has a coffee tomorrow, you get paid. When somebody books a flight tomorrow, you get paid. When somebody puts a deposit on a car tomorrow, you're getting paid if it's your customer. So we have a situation. I used to get paid when people made phone calls. Now I get paid when people spend money, all money. So it's incredible, an incredible product on itself and nothing to do with our trading platform. Brian Benson travels the world. He's been to every major conference. He was at the Ethereum blockchain conference for a whole week down in Argentina. He then went into London. He did a great event in London. Then he headed over to the Netherlands. From the Netherlands, he went to Germany. He did an event in Germany. I think it was actually a charity blockchain event in Germany. He headed down to Greece. He went over to somewhere else in Europe. I can't think of the name, Luxembourg or one of those countries. Then where did he go? He went to Slovenia, did a couple of events down there, headed over to the Emirates. Then he went down to Singapore last October. This is when the Formula One was on. 25,000 people showed up to see this man. 25,000 people. And on the last day, the tickets were $1,400. This man was on stage. So was his friend Richard. Richard Teng is the CEO of Binance. Richard and Brian worked together in Binance. And obviously, Richard got the CEO job. Brian didn't. And a lot of people are glad about that, because had Brian been the CEO of Binance, we probably wouldn't be having this conversation today. He went from there to the Emirates. He spoke at many blockchain conferences throughout what they call the Blockchain Week. He spoke in Abu Dhabi, Dubai. He's been interviewed by Benzinga. He's been interviewed by Forbes. He's been interviewed by Cointelegraph. He's been interviewed by, trying to think of the names. It's actually mentioned in the videos. He's interviewed by Wendy O, a very famous interviewer from social media. Great thing to go listen to is her questions and, more importantly, his answers. And here he is on stage. These experts were put on a panel of experts in the Emirates. And guess who was on stage? Yes, Brian Benson, second from the right. But look who's next door. The co-founder of Sandbox, the co-founder of 1inch, the founder of EasyFlow. These are major blockchain companies. And look who's sitting here. None other than Brian Benson. He was also invited to the Satoshi Roundtable. This is a private invite only. No media are allowed in here. This is where the future of finance, the future of blockchain is discussed and created. BlackRock were here. Yeah, Donald Trump's sons were here. Brian Benson was here. BlackRock, I said BlackRock. Binance were here. It's a very, very special roundtable where they carve out the future of the industry. And here he is with his arm around the billionaire. Yes, the owner, not the owner, the founder of Binance. And that tells us we're dealing with the real Brian Benson. When we take a look at their licenses and registrations, we see that the company, I talked about that earlier, set up in Hong Kong. And then the government of Dubai is here on the top left-hand side, issued a commercial license to them. It's written in Arabic, but there's a little bit of English on the left-hand side. The scribbled out bit is some phone numbers. And I've actually seen the clean copy of this. It's actually on the office wall. You can get a copy of that if yourself. But just for the purpose of me sharing this, we don't want 10,000 phone calls. That's not going to serve us any good at all. When we move off from the company side, let's take a quick look at their products. This is a very interesting product. This is the Aurum telephone. I'm just kidding. It's not a telephone. It's a point of sale terminal, a POS, point of sale terminal. Every shop has one of these guys. But what's different about this one? This one accepts crypto payments as well. I've actually used this. Well, it actually didn't look like that. It looked a little bit uglier. It looked like the normal ones we see in the shop. This is very refined looking. I hit my card on it and I checked my bank statement and I could see Brian Benson Aurum on my bank statement. I couldn't believe it. So this accepts fiat payments and crypto payments. And the great thing here, guys, is if you're the person that puts this into the shop, your wallet goes into this. And every time this machine is used on the blockchain, you get a micro payment. That's what they're working on now. So I've actually seen it working without any wires on it, not plugged into any wall, just sitting with a Wi-Fi connection. I tap my card and the little chip come out through the top. So I've seen the prototype and I don't know where they're going to launch this first, but that's going to be a fabulous product. It's going to generate a lot of money, a lot of transactions. It's going to be very important when the Aurum token launches in about 2 years from now. The token would require utility. They will not launch it until they have over 300,000 users. They will not launch it until there's full liquidity. And that's going to be a very special. They're actually going to follow Binance's BNB token. That's the aim of that. We don't sell tokens. Companies that sell tokens are looking to raise money. Okay, they're looking to raise money. They promise the future, the future, the future. No. This will not happen. This is going to be what's known as a fair launch. You're not going to buy any nodes. You're not going to buy any technology to give you tokens. No, it'll be a fair launch. And that's something we look forward to in the future. But this device will need it. The ATM machines will require it. The exchange will require it. The exchange is up and running, guys. And as it says here, Aurum have agreed to give 50% of the commission back to the community. That's quite interesting. They have a staking product on it that gives you 17 to 20% a year on your money. Tell me this. Do you know any bank in the world that can give you 17 to 20% a year on your money? Any bank in the world. It's not there. It is here. 17 to 20% on your money. And I'm talking about your crypto money, XRP, Ethereum, anything you have, 17 to 20% without trading. Now, the good news is you get let's say you put in Bitcoin, let's say you had a little piece of Bitcoin. You get free Bitcoin added to your account every single day, and you can take all, some, or any out at any time. There's no lock-in period. Generally, what I understood from staking is you stake it for 30 days or 60 days or 90 days. There was some kind of time frame. Here, it's 1 minute. You put it in, you can take it straight out again. There is no lock period. Over a period of 12 months, you receive 17 to 20% additional coin. So for those people sitting with a little bit of money on an exchange or sitting on a wallet doing nothing, this is an incredible product. And people are using this already. And what you're going to learn here is, what I feel is, there's companies out there want our money to build their tech, to build their technology. And this company don't appear to need our money because they already have everything. They have the payment solution of Visa. They have the AI robots. They have the exchange up and running. They have this point of sale terminal. They have the gold. We haven't even spoken about that. Everything's in place, and they're going to launch real estate this Saturday. But the only thing they don't have, I think, is the ATM machines. That's the only thing I haven't seen. So there's no future in here, really. It's up, live, and running, and I like that. And I like a company with physical products, like gold is physical, like the ATM machine is touchy-feely physical, point of sale is physical. When they have physical apparatus, there's manufacturing involved. There's it's really good. They also have a digital element as well. Now, Nick is going to head up the gold product. That's already launched, guys. It's incredible. 50% of your package gives you 24 karat real gold. The other 50% goes to an algorithm that trades gold. So one produces a yield, whilst the other is a hedge against inflation. It's the best of both worlds. If you buy gold, it sits on a table doing nothing. If you put gold on the table, it just stares at you. It doesn't make money. But it is God's money. It is real money. It is a good hedge against inflation. But of course, if you trade gold, then you can get a yield from it. So really cool product. 50% goes to the gold, 50% goes to trading. Now, the 50% that goes to the gold, you get a 30% additional discount as well. So that is incredible. And if the gold goes over a period of time and grows, that's going to be quite interesting. So I'm going to learn more about this, and I'll be able to do some kind of training on it, how this particular product and the real estate. I'll probably marry these two together, the gold and the real estate, because these are real world asset products. Let's have a listen to Brian Benson just for a moment. Brian, he's created thousands of millionaires when he worked at Binance, but now he wants to do it here at Aurum. Have a listen to this, guys. Listen carefully.
We're on a mission to create 1,000 millionaires that don't have $1 million today. So if we can come up with a system whereby there's, hundreds of thousands of people in there, but 1,000 of these people turn into millionaires, then those assets are inside of our platform. That turns us into a unicorn right away. And so that's really the goal that I have as an executive at the company, is how do we get people that don't have $1 million today to get them to $1 million through saving, through yield bearing assets, through a lot, compounding interest, through a lot of these things that have been around for a long time, but that not everyone in the world uses. And these are tools that are super important to get us there. So that's how we're measuring it internally, is if we can get to the point where we have 1,000 people that have become millionaires through our system and through working with our products, then that gets us really close to the unicorn valuation. And we want to be a fintech unicorn. I think Binance was the fastest fintech unicorn ever in the history. Yeah. I think it took less than 6 months. We used to have a slide about that in our pitch deck. So I'm pretty sure I've done this before. I've been involved in one of the fastest growing fintech unicorns in the world. And I think what we have at Aurum is actually very similar to when I started at Binance.
I think what we have at Aurum is very similar to when I started at Binance. This man is starting to feel the energy that Binance had, that feeling of growth, that feeling of momentum. And they're starting to see that here now with the customer growth and the development of the ecosystem. And the corporate's also developing as well. There's new corporate figures coming. I didn't even mention Shane Moran. Shane Moran created a company called OrganoGold. Shane Moran was one of the founders of that. Shane's working for this company now in a corporate capacity between the field. And imagine Shane's company, I think, did 5.4 billion. He's now working with these guys. Like, it's incredible who they're starting to attract. And you might have remembered a name called Holton Bugs in the industry. It was Shane Moran that introduced Holton Bugs to this industry, and now he's working with Aurum. And I mean, it's just incredible when you look at some of the corporate infrastructure, and more to come. There are more corporate figures as it grows and matures. It requires. I would imagine support is under stress. I imagine all the departments are under stress with the growth, but that's the pains of growth, guys. And if you can bear with that, I think you're in for something special with this particular company. But again, that's down to you. You can't do anything without subscribing to the platform. It's just $20. And this is very interesting, guys, because I'm led to believe that if you're incentivized to recruit somebody, in some jurisdictions, that's seen as a no-no. You know, if I was being enticing you to join some kind of way like that because I was going to get paid for that, that's seen as a bad thing. But what this company have done very cleverly, and fair play to the lawyer team, they have the best lawyers in Europe, the best lawyers in the United States in around the direct sales industry and blockchain, both capacities. But this is a $20 subscription and nobody gets paid. So if you join me to this, you don't get paid anything. Or if I join you, I don't get paid anything. So you're not encouraged or incentivized to recruit. They pay out nothing. And I think that's a good thing. This is like a subscription to a gym where you get paid for your, you pay and you can use the running machine, the rowing machine, the steam room. Here, you can use all of their products. And the other thing is you're not allowed to sell securities or investment products. And this is a great way to cut it clean, because you're only promoting this website like YouTube or like Amazon or like any website. That's what you're promoting, the website. And once the customer decides and has their due diligence done and decides to subscribe, then the customer is dealing directly with the company to provide the products, not you. So you can't sell. I don't have any cards to sell you. I don't have any of these point of sale terminals to sell you. I don't manufacture any ATM machines. I don't have any gold to sell you. I can't sell you any services. But what I can do is I can recommend a site. Like, this is just a fintech, a financial technology site. Here's a great site. Try this one. You can go and have a look around, and then you're engaging directly with the company because it has the licenses. It's the one that's providing those services. So keep yourself clean, keep yourself right in terms of that. Don't be over-promising or doing any of those kind of things. There's different regulations around the world, guys. It's changing all the time. It's a moving target. And I don't know, I can't speak for every jurisdiction, but just check with your own country what's right and what's not right and what you can and cannot do. But anyway, once you pay your $20, that will give you access to their system, and inside their system, you can enjoy all of their products. Now, we've talked about cards, and we've talked about gold, and we've talked about real estate. We've talked about point of sale terminals and all of those products, but here's some extra products as well. I'll just touch on as well. This is, I'm told this is their favorite product. Everybody absolutely adores this one. It's called the XAI bot or the EXAI bot. I don't know what that means or why it's called that. But it's been around since January 23. And how do we know that? Because some people have been invited to the trading accounts, and the question they asked was, can you show us your first deposit when you started this trading? And when they went to the deposit button and they scrolled down to the very first deposit, the first deposit made to the EXI bot was on the 11th of January 2023, over 3 years ago. Now, one thing that tells me is, well, it sounds to be, sustainable. It can be sustainable forever. I don't know. But up until in the first about 3 years, it did over 500%, which is great. Like in 3 years, if you got 100% in real estate, it could take 10 years. So to get 500% in 3 years, that's very, very, very good. The figures on the screen here, they share these on their website, and they post this in their Telegram groups. This was for January's profits for this product. Now, they have 15 of these different, well, maybe not 15. They would have probably 15 products, but I think they have eight or nine of these bots. But this one on its own made $11 million in January 2026. And it started with 1.5 million, I think, was the first deposit. And at this stage, on the 1st of February, because this is January's profits, 11 million, but on the 1st of February, they were trading $77 million. So that's not a lot of money. It might sound like a lot of money, but in the terms of the big scale of things, it's not a big pile at this stage. On average, it's doing about 17.5% a month. That's not on offer to the customer base. What is on offer would be determined by your own account. So let's say you decided that you want to try $120 or $150. That's going to fall into the first category, the basic category. Those accounts are enjoying in around 10%. Why do I say in or around? Because it's not fixed. It's trading. It's up and it's down. And, they probably win. I think I saw when they showed us this, I think they win 72 to 78% of the time. And they lose the other time. But in a whole trading day, they're not doing any leverage trading, if you know what that is. I don't know what it is, but they don't do that. They do spot trading only. And I think that's a reasonably safe way to trade. They pay Bloomberg for what's known as a Bloomberg feed. I think that's one of the big news channels or one of the big finance channels. That gives them a lot of information to the AI machines that are working on this. They do deep learning. They have machine learning. They have 28 strategies. They don't use all 28 strategies in any single trade. They trade across multiple exchanges where the liquidity is. They don't have it all in one account. Just to spread the risk. They have the stop losses and the hard stops. And I also heard they have an emergency stop, whatever that is. And it is all performed by the AI, not by humans at all. But humans do oversee the trading. I believe 3 or more signatures are required to get into the account. And at all times of trading, it is overseen by live traders. That's all I know about that. However, back to this, that all came out of 10%. But if you needed 11%, you're going to have somewhere between $249 and $1,000. If you're looking for 12%, you need somewhere between $1,000 and $2,500. And obviously, you can see here, obviously, the bigger the deposit in your account, the better you can do. Now, the good news is, let's say you had $220 trading, and you forgot about it. You looked at it 3 weeks later, and it was $270. Let's say it was profitable and went up to $270. You are automatically upgraded to the 11% as your account grows. So you can trade up or you can top up. That's the 2 ways you can get to a higher category. The company said to me that they believe that the majority of their customers will be between $100 and $4,999. They believe that's where the bulk of the customers will be in this region. And in that case, this is where the company makes its most money. Because if you're getting 10%, the company's making the spread, the difference. And that's how trading works. I'm led to believe that usually it's 60-40. The customer would get 60% and the trading team would get 40. Sometimes it's 70-30. So the customer gets 70% and the trading team gets 30. Sometimes it's 80-20. I think for the big companies, those those big hedge funds, they get 80-20. So it really depends. So here they've carved it up as follows. So if you're getting 10%, they're making 7. If you're getting 11, they're making 6. If you're getting 12, they're making 5. If you're getting 13, they're making 4. And in every case, they're making money. So I think that's very important that the company also makes money. They also said to me that the big customers have little burden on their support system, whereas the smaller customer is always on the blower. And that's why the bigger customer gets the better deal. But I suppose that's the unfair thing in life. Money goes to money. We've heard that before, and that's the way it is. I had some other questions around this. One question was, yes, can you take out your profits? That was my question. And they said, yes, absolutely. And I said, when? And they said, whenever you want. And I said, well, like every day. And they went, well, if you want it every day, you can. I went, okay, and that's great. And then my next question was, what did I ask them? Yes, I said, what do you charge to withdraw the money? Because I've seen some platforms are charging like 10%. These guys charge 1%, which I thought was very, very, very fair, So those are the type of questions I had around this particular product. I was able to get my hands on 2 accounts to have a look at. Now, this wasn't given to me by the company. This was provided by a customer. This is a customer's account. This account was started on the 17th of April, 2025. That's nearly a year ago. It started with $500. So I would call that a small end count. But it was sitting here with 882 in it, and that was on the 17th of September. Look at the bottom right, 17th of September. So from the 17th of April to the 17th of September is exactly 5 months data. So it made 382 in 5 months. Is that good? Well, I originally didn't think it was good. And why I didn't think that was good was because, well, $382 in 5 months wouldn't feed my family. It's a bad way to look at it. But when you do the maths on it, it's sensational. It's 76% in 5 months. Now, that's better than property. That's better than gold. That's better than the bank. 76% for a small account in 5 months. And then I started to look at it a bit different. Wow, that is pretty good. The larger account that we were able to track last year started on the 10th of April last year. Can you see the 10th of April? So this account is over a year old now. But back on the 10th of April, this account started with $10,000. We're looking at the bottom right-hand corner now. Please look down at the bottom where the red arrow is. Can you see the 16th of May? So when we judge this one, we're looking at the 10th of April to the 16th of May. That's 1 day less, 5 weeks. It's 5 weeks less a day. 10th of April to 10th of May is 4 weeks. And 10th of May to the 16th of May is 6 days. 4 weeks and 6 days. Allow me to round it up to 5 weeks. This account has made $2,360 in 5 weeks. Now that's crazy stuff. The next time we logged in was the 24th of June, 2025, and the account had grown another $3,000 of profit. It had gone from 12, it went from 10 to 12, and then it went from 12 to 15. So after 10 weeks, this account had made 55%. After 12 weeks, it made another $2,000. 7,000. Remember, the customer owns 10,000 of that. The 7,471 is the profit element. It's made 74% on 10,000. And then after 4 months, this particular account doubled. I'm not here to give you financial advice and say, well, this is going to happen for you. Absolutely. I don't know what's going to happen for you, but I know that's what happened in this account. And I know that this customer was, see the reinvestment button here. So let me explain that. If you have an account with this company, this button is not on. It's not turned on. And if you were a brand new customer today, if I give you 30 minutes in the website to find this button, you probably wouldn't find it yourself. You couldn't find this button. Somebody would have to say, hey, let me show you where that is. Anyway, if you decide to turn it on and that's your prerogative, what you're saying is the profit we made today, I don't want to take that out. I don't want to withdraw that. I want to leave that in Binance with my principal amount that I started with. So let's say you started with $100 and you made $10. You're saying, I want the 110 to trade tomorrow, not the 100. I'm not taking out the 10. That's what the reinvestment button makes. And that's why this account has done particularly well. I mean, this has outperformed what their statistics were saying earlier. This customer was expecting 15% a month. The customer was expecting 15% a month, according to their account. But it actually did more than that. It did 23. On average, like 23%. And I don't know what the difference from that to that is. 23 and I don't know. But roughly, it's doing about 25% a month, which is sensational. Sensational. Anyway, and people will say, well, how can it do that? How do they make this money? You see, most people aren't used to this kind of money because when you put your money in the bank, they give you 1 or 2%. The bank puts your money into trading platforms and they make the money. That's how the bank makes the money. They don't give it to the consumer. And when the consumer gets it, they just can't understand, well, how do we make all this money? Where was this money all my life? And it's because we haven't been able to engage with this. Big wealthy people can, accredited investors can get involved, but generally the public can't. And that's one of the biggest reasons people can't conceive it. This is a site called CoinMarketCap. It's a third-party, well-trusted site, and it's an aggregator. What does that mean? It takes the prices of Bitcoin in every exchange and it brings together, say, here's the average price. It takes all the Ethereum prices from all the different places and goes, hey, this is the average price today. So it's an aggregation of price so you can get a fair idea what's happening out there. Now, on this particular day, this account in 24 hours made 2,090% in 1 day. 0.60. Well, Aurum is making the 0.60. That's all they're after. They're after 0.3%, 0.15 of a percent, 0.7 of a percent. It's there to what I call snipe. It's there to snipe a little bit of profit and get out of the market. It's not there to risk. It's not there to leverage and futures. It doesn't do those kind of things. And if the AI was able to read that this Dogo coin is really going to go here and it can see the graph and it's doing this, it's going to go 100%. All they want is to take a little 0.5% of that. But this coin went and did 2,000% in one day. Elevate did 800% in one day. Pepe Trump did 423% in one day. The one day was the 11th of January. Look down at the bottom, 11th of January this year. Now, this happens every day. This happens every day, guys, not just this day. This was a screen grab just to illustrate, wow, if Aurum can do 10 or 10% a month, and this is 2,000% in a day, wow, it becomes more believable in my but again, this is just my comments, my feelings about it. Now, that's their key product. They do have about 8 of these other bots operating as well. I'm not going to tell you about those. They're pretty good. There's no lock-in on your money with these bots used on the Telegram. You can put in $100 today and take all your money out tomorrow. There's no penalty. There is the 1% withdrawal fee. They also have this Zeus bot where you can trade Bitcoin on its own with the dollar, Ethereum against the dollar. You can put BNB up against the dollar. And these are doing very, very well. I was speaking to a lady today, was it, or yesterday? Yesterday, yeah. She's made 3 Ethereum in about three months. So she must have a lot of Ethereum in trading. But she can take it out anytime she wants, the profit or the principal or both if she wishes. There's no lock-in on those bots there, which is pretty, pretty good. The last thing I want to talk about is this card. Quite interesting. I don't know how they did it. Usually to get a card, you have to provide all these details. My understanding is they're going to have 4 cards and 2 will require KYC and 2 won't. This one here, this sample card that I was sent is called the Infinity card. There's no name on it. Your name doesn't go on it. No KYC for that, which is incredible. If you use more than 100,000 a month, and I don't know who needs that, but there are people out there that need more than 100,000 a month, you do have to do that AML, anti-money laundering, and what's that other thing, KYC. You have to provide all their details. But if you keep it under 100,000, and what's interesting here is you can import your crypto from anywhere into your Aurum account and the same day go top up and put it onto that card and off you go to spend your crypto. Because the 2 problems with crypto is, number one, how do I get it? How do I turn my euro, my pound, my dollar, my yen? How do I turn that into crypto? People don't know how to do that. And then the second reason is, if they did, and they do have it, how do I use it? Where do I spend it? Who takes this stuff? Well, Visa and MasterCard are taking it through this program. So we have the off-ramping solution in play here. The on-ramping solution is coming with the exchange. And once they do that, things will change. Once you start accepting fiat payments, then regulations change. Things get tighter. Things get tougher. Regulation comes in. You do have to provide all those details as soon as they start accepting pounds, euros, and dollars into the exchange. But of course, that's what we want. We want them to do that so we can swap our pounds, our dollars, our euros into crypto and then use it. But that's what they're aiming for. The loading fee is 2.2% fee for doing it. I don't think that's bad. I know there's much heavier fees and you're out of your way to get them, but this is a very convenient way of sitting at home and swapping your, I need to go on holidays. Oh, let's swap 1,000 USDT, put it on the card and off you go on your holidays. It's pretty cool. So anyway, I'm going to show you this card working. This transaction was done in June last year. It's an old video, but it's the simplest video I've ever seen. It's demonstrating somebody using the card for their second time ever. They were sent down to the shop to buy milk, and they stopped the bot from trading. They pressed top up, and off they went to the shop.
Here we go then, second official transaction.
No, it's purple and white. Thank you.
Lovely. Thank you, Mina.
Thank you.
There you go. Mina's very famous now. So it's amazing. You go down to the shop and go buy your groceries with cryptocurrency. It's incredible how things are changing. Here's another video. I'll not actually play this tonight. It's just somebody using the card at the ATM machine. You know it works. If Visa and MasterCard are on it, you know it works.
हेलो दोस्तों, आप मेरे हाथ में ये कार्ड देख रहे होंगे, औरम का वीज़ा कार्ड। और मैं आज इंडिया में पहली बार एटीएम से इससे कैश विड्रॉल करने का प्रोसेस कर रहा हूं और देखते हैं ये किस तरीके से काम करता है। ये बिल्कुल उसी तरीके से काम कर रहा है जैसे नॉर्मल अकाउंट एटीएम करते हैं और मैं फ़िलहाल केवल 500 रुपीज़ इसमें से विड्रॉल करने की कोशिश करता हूं और मैंने ये दबा दिया और ये बोल रहा है कि आप कितना कन्वर्जन के साथ आप किस तरीके से आगे बढ़ना चाहते हैं और मैंने इस पर कंटिन्यू कर दिया और ये इसने कैश विड्रॉल मुझे अवेलेबल करा रहा है जैसे कि आप देख ही रहे होंगे। और इसने बोला कि आप अपना कार्ड निकाल लीजिएगा। मैंने अपना कार्ड वापस ले लिया और ये मैंने 500 रुपीज़ आज फ़िलहाल विड्रॉल करके पहली बार ट्राई किया और ये सक्सेसफुल हुआ। थैंक यू।
Yeah, so I said I wasn't going to play that, but the machine spoke in English at least, and Prashantji spoke in Hindi there. But this card has been tested right around the planet, guys. Obviously, you could say if Visa's on it, you know rightly it's going to work. So, incredible product. So that ends our presentation tonight. For those of you who'd like to sit on for the next few minutes, I'm happy. Somebody asked me, would I share the affiliate program? Yes, I'm happy to share my views on that. We can do that right now. For those of you just want to try the products, please get back to the person that shared this with you. Do your own due diligence, of course. Make an informed decision. Seek professional advice when you're discussing any new business, you know. And for those of you who'd like to stay on for a few minutes, I'd like to share the compensation plan because Brian Benson said something very interesting. He says, I want to create 1,000 millionaires. And when I first heard this, I rolled my eyes. I went, how on earth are you going to do this? 1,000 millionaires. That's a very lofty dream. Well, I was shocked. There are 3 people on this call with you right now that have made $1 million. So it does work. And there's a lot more than 3 that have already made $1 million with the platform. But when you first hear it, you think, how's that possible? How do you make $1 million? So let me show you their affiliate program. Again, don't be misled that high earnings are easily achieved. They're not. It takes hard work. It takes time. It takes, persistence. It takes skill. It takes commitment. It takes, it's down to you what you want to achieve from it. But what I believe is if somebody else can do it, then so can you, because you're as good as anybody. I think in my world, I treat everybody equal. Everybody's equal. There's nobody better than anybody else. Because when you look at something like this, the Brian Benson we looked at tonight is the same Brian Benson for those guys that have made $1 million as it is for you and me. He's the same man. The products that those guys are using, the EXI bot, the point of sale terminals, the cards, they're the same products offered to those guys that are making $1 million. They're the same products you have. So it's the same company and the same products. And what I'm about to show you now is the same for them as it is for you. It's no different. The difference between them and you is sitting on your seat tonight. Are you prepared to roll up your sleeves? Are you prepared to put in the effort? Are you prepared to learn? There's 3 things you need to be successful. The first thing you need is an appetite for success. You need a burning desire inside you that you need to achieve this. You need to treat it like you need oxygen. Yeah, and focus on it. That's the first thing you need. A burning desire. The second thing you need is to be willing to learn. And when we talk about crypto, it's strange to me, it's strange to you. Yeah, but you can learn it. Everything can be learned. The first song I played tonight was 3 Asian gentlemen singing in English, a magnificent song. It had to be learned. If you hear a song on the radio today for the first time, you cannot sing it straight away. You don't know the words. You can't remember the verses and the choruses and put it all together. You can't even remember the tune. But you can learn it. And same with this. Everything can be learned. So the first thing you need is a burning desire to succeed. The second thing you need is to be willing to learn. The third thing you need to be able to do is roll up your sleeves and go to work. That's it. That's the 3 ingredients. If you're prepared to do that, you can have success. Affiliate programs are very popular today. The best one I know of is probably Amazon. It uses an affiliate program. But so does Binance. They have an affiliate program. Tesco, for those of you in the UK and around Europe who know that brand, they have an affiliate program. Apple have an affiliate program. Everybody's using affiliate programs, and now Orem have decided after a year and a half from launching, they said, you know what, let's try this affiliate program. Prior to that, they were just dealing with the big guys. Now they opened this in September 24, I believe it was. Now, I never heard about it in 2024. I heard about this in 2025. But there appears to be longevity here. It's incredible. Everybody starts as a Nova. Nova means new. New star in the sky is Nova Star, new star. You might be the new star in this business. You're entitled to 3% if someone uses your referral link to register an account. 3%. You're not going to get rich. If somebody puts in $100, you get $3. If they put in another $100, you get another $3. If they put in $1,000, you get $30. It's 3%. It's very simple. It's a one-tier thing. You can have one customer, 4, 15, 27, 10,000. Doesn't matter. It's an affiliate program. That's all you get. 3%, no more. Very simple. It's not multi-level. When I saw this, I said, God, this looks like multi-level. This looks like level 1, level 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, it's 7 levels. It's multi-level. No, it's not. It's an affiliate program. It's different. So how do you get 5%? Well, when the accumulated total of all your customers trading is 7,500, you get promoted to Voyager and you get 5%. How's that? Very simple. Very, very simple. You could do it in one day. You do it with 1 or 2 customers. What happens then is you get 5% on your own customers' deposits. But if one of your customers finds a customer, they're getting 3, you're getting 2 to infinity on every deposit on every customer thereafter. You also get a $100 cash bonus. Instantly, you don't wait for it. You don't ask for it. It lands on your table. Actually, if you qualified and you went to see it coming in, you won't. It's there already. It's faster. It's like AI. You ever go to ChatGPT and type something? Boom, it's there. World history in 2 seconds. Boom. The whole world history is on your desk with AI. Incredible. But now you get another bonus, and this is more exciting. You get 5% every day on the profits of all of your customers, but not just all of your customers, all of theirs and all of theirs and all of theirs and all of theirs to infinity. You're getting 5% on every profit of every customer, unlimited generations in depth on every leg. As long as, of course, you're the only Voyager. Now, if you want 7%, it's quite easy. What do? You allow the 7,500 to grow to 25,000. It's not a new 25. It's 7.5 moving itself up to 25,000 in total dream trading. You also need to find 2 Voyagers in your team. Now, here's the good news. You don't have to find them yourself. They don't need to be superstars that you've introduced. They could appear anywhere in any depth. 2 Voyagers somewhere in the business, as long as they're 2 separate legs. Do that, you're Vanguard. What does it mean? You get 7% on all your own customers' deposits and their top-ups. But if one of your customers went and got a customer, their Novas, they get 3, you get now 4. You used to get 2% over, right now you're getting 4% on every deposit to infinity generations in depth. You get a $500 cash bonus, and now you get 7.5%. 7.5% on every profit every day. Imagine you put in $100, right? As an example. Let's say you put in $300. And one of your customers put in Bitcoin and didn't tell you. You get paid 7.5% in Bitcoin rewards. Let's say that person's wife opened an account under them and put in Ethereum, and they didn't tell you, and you don't have any Ethereum or Bitcoin, you get paid 7.5% in Ethereum. Whatever it is they decide to trade, whether it's the Zeus spot or the XI, you're getting this matching bonus every single day to infinity on open lines. Now, of course, if you meet a Voyager, you're going to share. How does that work? Well, let's say the Voyager was on your 4th generation, right? Well, you get 7.5% on your customers' profits every day, 7.5% on all the next generation, 7.5% on all the next generation. And then the Voyager's here. You also get 7.5% on the Voyager. But the Voyager person now is getting 5% to infinity. You get 2.5% to infinity override on all of that volume. On all open legs, you're getting that 7.5%. It's very simple. And if you want 9%, you just need a little bit more volume, a little bit structure. If you want 12%, a little bit more volume, a little bit more structure. But these are 7 generations. These are 7 rank promotions, 7 ranks. It's not like 7 levels. It's like when you start in a shop and they promote you to supervisor after 8 months because you did a good job. You get a pay rise, supervisor. Let's call that Voyager. After a year, you get promoted to manager in the shop. We call that a pay rise. We call that a rank promotion. That's Vanguard. 3 years after that, you become area manager of 5 or 6 shops in the district because you've done well. That's a pay rise. That's a promotion. Another 3 years later, you become a director. That's another rank. It's another promotion. It's another pay rise. These are pay rises, guys. These are promotions. But here's the difference. The boss doesn't promote you. Brian Benson doesn't promote you. You promote yourself the day you want it. You decide when you're Voyager, you get it. If you want to be Voyager tomorrow, you're Voyager tomorrow. 7,500 of trading volume in your team, you're Voyager. 25,000 with 2 Voyagers, you're Vanguard. You just walk up these steps. $1,000 bonus, 2,000, 5,000, 10,000 bonus. There are 15 ranks. Elites get $20,000 bonus. Magnets get 50,000. Mythos get 100,000. Legends get 150. And if you want to be one of Brian Benson's millionaires, you walk up the steps to Dominion. That's all it takes. A little bit more volume, a little bit more structure. Now, I've spoken to a lot of people that have made $1 million with this platform. And all but one of the millionaires made $1 million before they hit Dominion. There was one guy hit Dominion recently, and that's when he made the $1 million. But the other people I spoke to, and they're on this call tonight with you, had $1 million earned before they hit that extra $500,000 bonus. You see, when you take $500,000 plus 150 plus 100 plus 50 plus 20, that's 820,000. Plus the first page, plus these direct bonuses, plus these differentials on profit and profit, and plus this shareholder bonus. Let me tell you about the shareholder bonus. When you reach the rank of Oracle, the company include you in all the volume done by all the business that came before you, during you, and after you. What does that mean? You get paid on your uplines volume, you get paid on strangers volume, crossline, the entire fund. Now, at the moment, there's about 100 million trading. The company take 3.175% of the trading fund, and they share that with Oracles and above. So you can enjoy business that was done before you even came into the business yourself, if you can rank up to Oracle. Now, some people are doing it very, very fast. Some people are doing it in 10 days. Yes. But even if it took you 10 months, how bad? And we don't need to look at the other ranks, but I can tell you at the top of the Alpha Mountain, at the top of the Aura Mountain, there's a $10 million view up there, guys. There's a $10 million view from that mountain top. And it's just a matter if you want to take 15 steps to the top of the mountain. Some people will fall off the mountain. Some people will go halfway up and back down again. Yeah. And some people will focus, get as high in the mountain. The higher you go, the easier it gets. There you go. The hardest part is the first few steps. Getting going. That's the hardest part. And then it takes a life of its own, off it goes. So with that said, guys, that's our presentation over. I wanted to keep it under an hour. Thank you so much for your attention. If you need any more clarity in this, please get back to the person that shared this with you.